Hello and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Scenes. If you don't know what the show is about yet, that means you haven't watched all the other videos, so go ahead and do that now. But if you don't want to watch it, then it's pretty much self-explanatory. We're going to be diving into the behind the scenes of some of my favorite artists and creatives. One person who's doing it for us Black people today, I'm so excited, so elevated to be talking to him. Without further ado, guys, I'll introduce you to my guest today, Gbenga. Hello.
Hello, Naomi.
How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much. Especially, I know you're a busy man. You're a multi-talented artist. You have a hand in everything, literally. So I'm so thankful that you've given this time to be able to sit down with me. And yeah, let's get the show started. So, and do you want to introduce us a little bit about yourself and tell us what you do, about your magazine, A Choice Lifestyle, and anything else you want us to know about you?
Yeah, all right. Let me just make a brief introduction about myself. My name is Gbenga TJ Okunlola. I'm from Nigeria originally. Then I moved to England about 14 years ago with my family from Bulgaria. I used to live in Bulgaria, where I started my journalism career. So I moved to England about 14 years ago, and I was working in Bulgaria for an African magazine called The Voice magazine. I was a correspondent for the magazine in Bulgaria. The magazine is published in the Netherlands. So when I moved to England, I became the first London bureau chief for the magazine. So I was with the magazine for about 16 years before I started my own magazine, September last year, 2020.
Oh,
so
wow.
My magazine is called, yes, I was with the Voice magazine for 16 years. So when I started my magazine September last year, I named it A Choice magazine. So period then, I studied in a London School of Journalism, where I got my advanced diploma. That was about 15 years ago when I first came to England. Then I studied law at the University of Buckingham here. So let me talk about A Choice magazine. Simply A Choice magazine is an online African magazine, and it's mainly for ordinary educated English readers. So A Choice magazine is an online African lifestyle magazine for ordinary educated readers in English. It is not entirely about so it is entirely, it is not entirely about entertainment. It is about entertainment. Mainly, our mission is to celebrate Africans. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Who have achieved success in their choosing career. Be it actor, actresses, athletes, author, whatever field you have. So what I mean by Africans, it doesn't necessarily mean the Black people, because we have white Africans in South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, and Co.
Yeah.
So it's to celebrate Africans as a whole, British African, African American, just to to celebrate our homes. That's what to entertain people.
And what I love about your magazine is, we have Black History Month, where the whole world, America has a different month than us. Here in England, it's October, where we have 1 month where we're celebrating Africans. And then come November, we're like, do you know what I mean? And with the Black Lives Matter movement, we also now have Black British Pound Day, where we're encouraging people to, spend on Black-owned brands. I believe I would have to double check, but I believe it's on a Tuesday of the first month or so. But then again, after that passes, that's sort of like, So what I love about your magazine is that it's constantly celebrating Black people every single month, trying to put us on the map. And that's amazing to see that I don't have to wait until October or until a certain amount of days to see other people being celebrated and other people in the Black community being talked about. So yeah, I really do love your magazine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad. Right, so let's get started into the interview. Oh, you busy man, are you getting another call?
Yeah, yes, don't worry. Let's go. Don't worry. I keep declining it. Let's do it.
Right, so yeah, so first what I like to do is I like to start off with an icebreaker. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and all I'm going to ask of you is to answer them quickly with the first thing that comes to your mind. Yes?
Okay.
Okay,
So the first
fantastic.
question, which came first?
Wonderful. So the first question I want to ask you, is, when you feel disappointed, what's the first thing you do?
You have confused. Let's go to the which came first, the magazine or the need to give Africans something they need. That's the
Sorry?
first question here. The first question
Oh no,
I'm having here.
this is the quick fire round. It's just like an icebreaker
okay,
before we get into the interview. Yeah, just to sort of like shake off our nerves and get us in the right mindset.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, I said this is like an icebreaker to just shake off some nerves, get us in the right mindset. It's nothing like the questions may seem a bit deep, but they're not necessarily in regards to the interview. They're just interesting question I'd like to know about.
Yeah, just tell me quick.
Yeah, so when you feel disappointed, what's the first thing you do? When you're disappointed, what's the first thing you do? When I'm disappointed, first thing I do is call my mom. Say I went for a job interview. I recently went for a job interview and I didn't do well. And I was really disappointed in myself, so I called my mom. Yeah,
exactly. I'm also like that. Whenever I feel disappointed, I call my mother. But unfortunately, I lost my parents 3 years ago.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
So both my parents died after each other, within the space of 1 month.
Oh,
so I'm
wow.
being that I'm a very mature person. Whenever I feel disappointed, I just go back to my concave. How do I call it? I have my concave and I kind of see where I go wrong or where that person go wrong, because I've let a lot of people down. People have let me down. You know what I mean? So nobody's perfect. So you just have to see that. You have to see that everybody's prone to mistake. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, fantastic.
And you have to always. And one thing I've learned in life is that you have to prepare for rejection in life.
Yeah.
Whether you go for a job interview or movie, because I used to be in movies for many years, for auditioning, for casting, you should prepare for the rejection so that you will not be disappointed when you are rejected.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm always prepared for that.
Yeah, prepare for rejection. I need to start doing that. I get too psyched. I'm like, they're definitely gonna hire me. I'm amazing. Like, I'm the best. And then I psych myself up, and then I forget, well, hold on, there's other people that are amazing. Some equally, some even more than you. And then they also are applying. They could also get it. So yeah, preparing yourself for rejection. Definitely something to do. Next question is, what's one movie that can make you laugh and cry at the same time?
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh my God.
With
I
Morgan
love
Freeman,
that movie.
With Morgan Freeman and
I forgot his name. I'm not good with actor names.
Morgan Freeman, the guy, I'm trying to remember his name, is Susan Sarandon's band. Yeah, he's the director of the movie. So, and fortunately, I met I worked with Mr. Morgan Freeman in 2 movies. And I have a picture with him, and I interviewed him for my magazine, The Voice magazine, in 2007. I was in 2 movies with him, and that Shawshank Redemption was my greatest movie, because I learned from it that no matter what adversity or difficult situation that you are in, there is always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
You remember the movie, how he escaped?
Yeah, the tunnel, the poster, everything.
When he escaped, and he used to say something, hope is the last thing. You never lose hope. Hope. That is it.
That's amazing. Oh my God. So how was it working with Morgan Freeman? That must have been like,
working with him was the best experience I've ever had in my life. Not only working with him, he became like a father to me for a few years before we lost contact. He granted me an interview because I was an extra in the movie. It's the movie with Antonio Banderas. The movie is called Thick as Thieves. I would say like
Thick as Thieves. Yes.
I was there. I was in the movie.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that movie and look at all the extras. Like, I have a friend in there.
I will send this picture with me and Anthony Banderas later to you. I was
Yes,
with him in
please
that
do
movie.
so people can see this.
Yeah. So during that shooting of that movie, we became
Mm-hmm.
friends. Granted, I told him I'm a journalist. I'm married to a Bulgarian. I lived in Bulgaria for many years. And he asked me, "Oh, wow, Bulgaria is a very racist country." I told him my experience about racism.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that he advised me if I really want to take acting as a career, I should go to a New York Film Academy to do a 3 month crash course.
Oh,
That's
okay.
another story. I went to New York, I did the course, then I came back to Bulgaria. So from then, I became friends with him. We communicated by email. Then he came again to Bulgaria. I did another movie with him.
Mm-hmm.
Contract, I can't remember, contract or something like that. So I learned a lot from him. So I told him that I'm a journalist by profession and I would like him to grant me an interview. So he granted me an interview. I'm still having it today, the copy of that interview. And, he's such an easy man that very easily accessible. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe that I would meet Morgan Freeman that I used to see on TV. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
on TV, and we
People
used to
like,
watch him. Yeah, and it's
Wesley Snipes also. I work with Wesley Snipes, Michael J. White, Adewale Akinoya, Steven Steger, Van Damme. I have all the pictures with all. Rose Kemp. There is a British actor, Rose Kemp. You know
no,
him.
I'm not aware of
No,
that
Rose Kemp.
name.
Okay, Rose Kemp. Oh, Rose Kemp is
Oh, Ross
used to do
Kemp.
document.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, 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 yes. Sorry, yeah, I wasn't hearing it properly. Yes, of course.
Sorry. It used to be, I did a movie with him in Bulgaria, Spartacus. It was in Spartacus 2003. I have a picture
No.
with him. Yeah, we sent my picture.
Spartacus, I used to love that when I was a child. Like we used
Yeah,
to.
go watch the one 2003 HBO movie. That's the one I featured in one of the black gladiators. So I featured in
Oh.
I've done about 32 American films, then a British movie. When I came to England, I registered with an agent in London. So I've
Mm-hmm.
featured in 9 British movies, including Hollyoaks.
Oh,
You
Hollyoaks,
know,
yes.
there is a lady called Georgie Potter or something like that.
Yeah.
I will send my picture with her also. With
Oh,
Hollyoaks.
wow. Yeah, Hollyoaks is such like a renowned. I laugh because it's like, who doesn't know about Hollyoaks? That's a show you watch with your kids, your grandkids, your grandkids until your deathbed. You watch with your mates when you're young.
I did few episodes in Hollyoaks, about 4 or 5 episodes. Then there is another one shot in Oxford. Inspector Lewis.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
there also. I was in that also. So let's
Wow.
go to our question.
Yeah, that. I mean, obviously, we were talking about things that can make you laugh and cry, but now I've got this whole amazing story. I can't wait to get into it. I will definitely be coming back to all this acting because I'm really interested to know
That's
what
another
made you
day. I will
switch
tell you
from
that
acting
story.
to writing. Like you obviously was a writer first, and then you jumped into acting. You done well, and now you jump back into writing. So I really want to see that trajectory. But yeah, on to our next question. You've thrown off my ball game. What do you define as being brave?
To be brave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me just simply describe braveness as
Of course, take your time.
to take risk sometimes,
Yeah.
Never allow a fear to control your life.
Yeah, I like that.
In the sense that we all have different gifts.
Yeah.
This magazine that I started just last year, it has been in my plan 15 years ago when I finished at the London School of Journalism.
Mm-hmm.
But I had I was having that burning ambition that time, desire to start my own magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a lot of connection with many American and Hollywood actors that I featured with.
Yeah.
But
Wesley
every time
Snipes,
I wanted to,
Morgan Freeman.
yeah,
Yeah.
I even saved some money. I saved some money to start printing. But that time, my ex-wife used to tell me, "No, TJ, you are thinking big. Think small and grow big. Start small and grow big. Stop thinking big. You are working for the Voice magazine for many years here. People know you, but if you start your own magazine today, who's going to read it? Start digital magazine. Start small, little, and grow."
Yeah.
Then, after that, whenever I wanted to start that project, there is this constant fear in my heart that you can't do it. You know what I mean? You cannot do it. You cannot do it. But when it comes to work for other people, I write the best story for them. I do it for them. But when it comes to mine, I'm always in a constant fear. What will people say? Oh, people will say it's not good enough. So once you overcome that fear, one day you say, no, I can do it. Yeah. Everybody will, if you were like put aside your mistake or what people would say, then you can do it. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I always think that what people will say, I will make many errors, I will make mistakes. Yes, you will make mistakes, but as time goes on, you start, getting better.
Yeah. I hear that. Wow.
That's
I like that. I will remember that to, start small and work your way to your big dreams. Because I do. I'm very much like, I want to become a presenter. What do I do? And I start looking at acting agencies. And my mom's like, start small. You have a microphone.
So let's go to the first question. Let's go to the first question.
So that's good. Yeah. So the final question for the icebreaker, actually, so it was, but yeah, actually the first question on our thingy is, can you tell me a little bit, well, you've told me a little bit about your magazine 8 Choices and how the birth of that came about, but what I really want to know is which one came first, like the magazine or the need to give Africans something they need?
Now, okay, as I said earlier on, it is a platform to celebrate the best of Africa, right?
Yeah.
Then, to answer your question, which came first? Honestly, journalism came first.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's my profession from the beginning. So journalism came first. Then the need, not only to give an African something, but to expatiate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On to expatiate on what has already been laid down by other people, by others before me. Because before I started my magazine, there have been many well-established magazines.
Yes.
African magazine everywhere. So I wanted to expatiate on that and to do something different.
Yes.
To celebrate our people, from my own perspective, the way I see them, that's what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
And to entertain them.
Yes.
So that's exactly what I'm trying to do, to give people quality because there are many negativity being said about Africa as a continent. You understand what I mean? So I wanted to use a 8 Choices magazine as a spotlight to shine more light on Africa.
Yeah, on shine.
There are good things in Africa, and there are good things in our Black people.
Yes, 100%. There's more to us than the monthly appeals of children drinking dirty water. That is still very much happening, but there is more to us than that.
It's something that I had conceived 15 years ago, right?
Okay. Yes, but yes, like you
said.
I've
never practicalized it or actualized it until this lockdown last year. When I woke up one morning that today I wanted to be my own boss, become my own boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though I have my full-time job, but this is my profession, I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to stop working for the Boys magazine. Let me just get this started.
Yes.
So I used that opportunity, being under the lockdown, to do a lot of research. That's how I got started. So the first edition came out September 1st, 2020. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay. And what were you sort of feeling just before you put that out? Because obviously, like you said, this was 15 years in the making, 15 in the drew. Just before you pressed enter and you talked to everybody and it's like, it's going live. How were you feeling? Because that must have been, to me, it would have been a lot of anxiety.
Yes. The first thing I did how do I put it, how I gather my teams. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
The people that work for me. After did my research, what I have to do. So I reached out to some of my friends who are professional journalists, who were my course-mates in the London School of Journalism many years ago. So I reached out to them. This is my idea. This is my vision. I share my plans with them, my goals with them. That's what I mean. So some of them say, okay, we are going to write for you, but you have to pay per article, maybe about 50. I paid about £50 per
Mm.
1,000 words article. I said, okay. So I told them what I wanted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you, I want you to write about entertainment, you about politics, you about sport. So those are professional writers. Secondly, I reached out to some of my close friends. Family members who are like accountants. You know what I mean? To be on board. To be on the team, like to advise me about how to do my paper accounting job,
Yeah.
work, paperwork. Then I reached out to some family back in Nigeria, a graphic designer who will design the magazine, printer, who will design the website.
Yeah.
So that's how I gathered my team, my nucleus. So they became my nucleus team, nucleus
Yeah.
family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after arranging this thing, I made them know that their contribution is very valued and I respect their. Because I have some other people that do not collect any money from me; they just contribute every month. Articles without collecting any money because I was like running the magazine for 3 months, my personal savings.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was.
3
I have to
months by
pay
yourself.
by myself. I was spending about £560 every month with that because I have to pay about 3 writers or 4 writers. Then I have to pay the graphic designer, the website host, and I have to pay the printers as well. Because I was printing about 100 copies in Nigeria for distribution to businesses, corporate bodies, and African embassies, in England. So after 3 months, I started reaching out to some corporate bodies, businesses, African businesses, for advertisement. You know what I mean? So, because they don't know about my magazine before, end of day, I was turned down. It's very difficult to get adverts. So what I did was, I'm going to give you 3 months advert free or 2 months free.
Oh, okay.
Just give me your product,
Get you
whatever
out
you
there,
sell,
yeah.
whatever. So I was giving them free advertisement. So now,
Wow.
let me say 2 months ago, before Christmas, I started getting paid. Some companies started paying me every month. So now I'm able to pay my employees, and I still have something recurring for me.
Yeah,
And
and that's just that part of that growth.
Exactly, that's the growth, I believe, because I never, when I set out to publish this, to launch this magazine, I never let money be my motivational factor.
Yeah.
My aim is to do something that I don't do most. I knew that money would come later.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be well established, well accepted, have many readership, people to know about it.
Yeah.
Then I made it free. I made it free for my readers online. You can download it, the full copy, digital copy
exactly.
online.
Full copy, you get everything, high
quality, everything,
high quality, guys. Literally everything. Yeah.
Or you can read it online like that. So
you can read it online. Yeah.
So I made it free for people, and maybe after 1 year or 2 years, I will start paying. Just to attract people readership to the magazine.
Yeah. Of course,
because
and
every
help
normal
maintain the
person
growth.
Exactly. So every person that been reading your story every month for the past 1-2 years, so when you start asking them pay 50p or £1 to read a magazine, they wouldn't think twice. So that's what I'm saying. So every month I struggle to put somebody celebrity on the cover.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you sort of touched on, the key to building loyal monthly readers. So making it cheap, making it accessible, free when you can, keeping us entertained by having the celebrities we want at the forefront of the magazine, And again, you've also touched on how it's important to not just worry about the money, the monetary and the finances side. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people that come into the creative industry, they're like, oh my God, I can get paid for what I want. What? Excellent. Do you know what I mean? And they start worrying about getting paid for what they want instead of.
For business to grow, it takes time. It
takes
dedication, perseverance, and
a
lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work.
Money will come after. Trust me.
Yeah.
If you enjoy that, if you enjoy what you are doing, put seriousness, your passion in it, you won't think about the money. And
Yeah.
secondly, why I don't worry about money now is because I have my full-time job separately, and you know what I mean. You know me very well. I have my two
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You're a
that pay
hustler, to say the least.
exactly. So I pay my bills, my rent, my everything
Mm-hmm.
through my. So I mean, I don't want to be jack of all trades and a master of none. That's what I mean.
No.
That's why. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
So
sometimes
I
you
have my
have to.
full-time job. I have to. I walk around the clock. Hardly,
Yeah.
maybe I sleep. You know me very well. I sleep 3 hours in a day. You know.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. uh, so, can I ask you if you could change one thing? If, say, for example, you had started your magazine right now, and if you could change one thing since you started running this magazine, what would you change? Like, what do you think you've learned from this process of a couple of months of being open and being fully established that you wish you had known prior to starting, or just at the moment of starting, that could have really made a big impact?
If I could change anything,
Yeah, if you could change anything now to have a greater impact on your magazine, but at the beginning stages. So what's one thing
uh,
you've learned? If I came to you and I say, hey, TJ, I want to start my own magazine, what would you say to me? Would you say, Naomi, I've had magazine for so and so many months, but what
exactly.
I've learned, what I didn't know, what I wish somebody had told me, what would
Uh,
that be that you would embark on me?
what I will advise you is that when you get started, you have to prepare for a criticism from people, from your readership. That's what I mean.
Yes,
Prepare for
yeah.
that. Don't let it I mean, you should be open for criticism. It
Mm-hmm.
will make you strong. It will make you stronger. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the sense that people will point out where you made a mistake.
Yeah.
Because when the first edition came out, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't lie to you. When the first edition came out, um, I learned a great lesson because the person I wanted to use for the first cover is a very
Mm-hmm.
famous person, a very personal friend of mine. I don't want to mention his name. I'm sorry to say that. He's an Hollywood actor who had promised me, don't worry, TJ, I'm going to be on the cover of your magazine. Right. So, yeah, he did an interview with me, like, on personal friendship
Yeah.
basis. So I was happy that when I published this, the whole England, they love him. He's from England,
Mm-hmm.
he's in England. But something happened, before I came out with the first edition. I was supposed to come out August,
Yeah.
not September.
Okay.
But I think it's management. They were not like, oh, it's supposed to go through, and I was supposed to go through them, pass through them,
Mm-hmm.
not to
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah, blah. So I should send the interview back to them. They will go through it and get back to me. So I sent everything back to them. So it was like taking 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Towards the end of August, I told my friend, I have to come out. I mean, I can't come out August again.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that was it. I just made a snappy decision. Luckily, I had a very good friend of mine. He's a Jamaican singer. I don't know if you remember this sister, Brick and Lace.
Mm-hmm.
You know those Jamaican singer, Nayanda, from the Brick and Lace group.
No.
Go with them. No, they are
Yeah, I
quite
wasn't.
famous.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm
Akon used to
surprised because
produce.
I'm a Yardi fan, so I definitely will Google
Oh,
them and have a
you
listen.
know them. You know them. Type a Brick and Lace, Nayanda and
Do you mind if I do it
Brick.
now?
Yeah, Brick and Lace. Love is Wicked. Type it. You know them. It's on the cover of my first edition. Brick and Lace. Just type Love is Wicked. That's the title of their famous song.
What's the name of their favorite song? Sorry.
The song is called Love is Wicked.
Oh, Love is Wicked.
Yeah, Brick and Lace. Brick like a
Oh,
brick.
okay. No,
You know them.
I really can't say that I've come across it. They look familiar.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Breaking Lace.
In
Love is
Google, just
Wicked. R&B. Oh,
I'm
they're
sure
even
that
an
you
R&B duo.
put it in YouTube. Brick, Love is Wicked.
Mm. Yeah, they look familiar, but
There are two sisters or three sisters.
yeah, two
Reggae.
sisters breaking name. Well, they could be three, but there's two of them that are singing.
Okay, they used to write song for Now, sorry, for Janet
Oh my God, of
Jackson.
course.
That's what.
Who doesn't know this? Can you hear it?
Eh?
I hope I don't get in trouble for playing this here.
No. Do you know the song I'm talking? Love is wicked. Type it. Love
Yeah,
is
this
wicked.
is it. This is it. How did the people do this?
That's it. That is it. That's it. That's it. So you know the lady, the lead singer, that's my friend, Nayada.
Oh, really?
So she was supposed to do the second edition for me because I interviewed her before about 12 years ago for the
Wow,
Voice
108
magazine.
million views. That's a lot. That's amazing.
Yeah. I interviewed her about like 12 years ago for the Voice magazine. Then I reached out to her that I'm starting my own magazine and she'll be on the second edition. So when that disappointment came from my friend management, I just called her. I said, look, Nayada, we are going to be on the first edition. She said, really? Things have changed. And that's how she did the first edition for me.
That's
and
good.
it came out.
That's so you thinking quick, being prepared for rejection, and putting your magazine first.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's
I didn't let it affect me. I did not let that disappointment affect me. I just went straight. Okay, you are doing the first edition. From there on, so when we printed the first edition, people like it. Some people say, oh no, you have to do this. You know, they give me some advices behind the scene. Some friends, some family friends, some people have known me before. And I took every criticism, you know, strictly. Next time, make it to look like this, blah, blah, blah. And the second one we did was better than the first one.
Of course, it's always improving.
Started improving every day.
That's amazing. That's good. And talking about improving, I want to know, do you hope to expand beyond digital means at all, especially with regards to the magazine? And I say that because I want to know, can we expect you to become on other platforms such as YouTube? You know, we see other companies trying to diversify their content and trying to reach consumers on all platforms. There's like you know, so there's so many different.
That's a very good question. For the past 2 months, I've been planning to start something called A Choices Television, you know, A Choices TV on YouTube. I think I discovered that.
Yes.
So mainly A Choices TV will be on YouTube channels. It will be interview. Only interviews we'll be doing with celebrities, something similar to what I'm doing now. But for some readers, some people who don't have access to read my magazine, they can see their famous celebrity, you know, being interviewed to watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
So some of the people I'm putting in the magazine, I will still interview them about their lifestyle, their career.
Yeah.
So it will be basically interviews and a few reportage about African events. So something entertaining. That's what I'm planning to start by June.
By June. Nah, wonderful. I can't wait. I can't wait to be involved, but I can't wait to also be
a viewer. You are my partner. Yes.
You see, guys, you heard it here first, so you can't take it back.
You're my business partner already.
Yeah, exactly. So what I wanted to ask you as well, TJ, what I really wanted to know is, especially when we were discussing about growing before, how important is it to say no sometimes? And obviously, I'm not at the say no stage yet. And like, is there a say no stage at all? Like, is there a stage where you can be like, okay, well, this doesn't actually go with my brand, or this doesn't go with my vision, so I should say no? Or do you think that people should constantly be taking opportunities and engaging with other people, even if it's not relevant to exactly their own dreams?
Let me just answer that question in a very brief thing. Like I said earlier on, you know, I've been in this business, it's a journalism trade for about 20 years.
Yeah.
And I've learned, the rudiments, you know, that is, I've been there, done that, I've, you know, been through.
Got the t-shirt.
Exactly. And I'm still learning, you know what I mean? I'm still learning every day. So, however, I've had my ups and downs in the trade, and I feel like I'm exactly where I wanted to be now. So that's what I mean.
Yeah.